shooting down in the woods. He wouldn't leave it even if he could. 'Cause life is good, yeah!
Hey, Hickok45 here, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Middle Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton, Alvin York, Jack Daniel, Davy Crockett. Yeah. Hey, guess what? We're outside today. I thought I would start out here at the shooting table, and just happened to be fondling a nice piece of hardware here. So the gun of the day will be a little different today. Gun of the show. I'm going to actually work the action and let you hear me load it. How's this? Can you hear that? I'm going to try something here I haven't done before on the radio show. I'm going to put some rounds in and actually fire this thing. So, don't know how my little recorder will pick that up. We'll find out, won't we? Well, you keep your ears open and listen here. We'll see what happens. See what you can hear. Alright, let's take sight on that red plate, the replacement red plate. And alright. I don't know if you can hear that, but it hit it. Let's try him again. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so right on the red plate with a rifle. We'll see if you can figure out what it is. Well, let me give you a clue. It's a rifle that I have picked up recently. And you know what? I do suffer from short-term and long-term and mid-term memory loss. Is this the gun I had in the show of the week the last time? Or show of the show? Gun of the show last radio show? Anyway, it's a K31, the Swiss. I think I had out here playing with it maybe during that last radio go-round. But I've had it out and I've been... well, not really working on, but just taking it apart, cleaning it, making sure it was, great shape, and fired it for the first time today. And though I fired it about 4 or 5 times before you just heard it, and so if it is a repeat, so be it. But thought I'd actually fire it on radio. That's something a little weird, huh? Not many people firing guns on radio shows, I guess, but pretty cool, pretty cool. I fired a magazine before I started recording, or now it was about 30, 40 minutes ago, messing around, and just for the first time I'd ever shot it. Missed, I guess, the first 3 shots on the red plate. Didn't know where I was hitting. You know, it's hard to tell where you hit on that thing when you miss, and it's hard to tell where you miss, not where you hit. And because it generally goes into the tires and everything. So I assumed, as with most military rifles, they're really sighted in for 100, 200 yards, that sort of thing. So you can put the rear sight all the way down, and then you still have to hold on the bottom or low, generally speaking. And come to think of it, I believe the other K31 that I had borrowed was this way. I think it shot pretty much right on. I'd forgotten about that. So I just brought it up a little bit and realized, oh, okay, I didn't need to hold low. So holding right on the plate and in the middle of it, it pops it. So the windage, at least at this point, seems to be okay. And the elevation is fine. You don't have to hold low. Just hold right on, as long as the rear sight's all the way down. And maybe we shouldn't be too surprised if the sights are on. You know, the Swiss do have a reputation for marksmanship, and this K31 was made in 1942, so someone had a little opportunity to make sure the sights were on over those decades that it was in Switzerland. So wow, what a surprise! The sights are on. You know, unlike the as I've talked about, the what is it? Oh yeah, the Sub 2000 recently acquired, and the sights were like way off. Wouldn't expect that with a vintage Swiss rifle, would you? And so that's nice. Hey, I know I just did a radio show But since I started, or I moved this operation to kind of when I'm in the mood or have time, that's what I do. And I don't know, I'm out here a little afternoon, beautiful afternoon, knocking around. John can't be here to help to work on videos, or we might be working on videos, but I got a little work done, and I don't know, just got in the mood to yak a little bit. Had some guns out and was messing around, kind of wishing you were with me. You know, I miss you guys when you're not with me so often when I'm shooting, and maybe I've just gotten used to that. Most of the time over the last 3-4 years, you guys are here when I'm shooting. So if I'm shooting and you're not here, I miss you. Can you believe that? Well, some of you I miss, right? No, I don't know. Just a few things I might rattle on about. No, I haven't been drinking or anything. Just thought I would yak. I think part of it was I got the Swiss, the K31 out, and I had the Scar 17 out too, just cleaning them up. We shot the Scar yesterday, and I was going to shoot the K31 today, just cleaning and working on these beautiful guns. Just I thought, wow, this is make a good video almost. Just taking them apart and messing with them, and we'll do that maybe sometime too. But nobody's here with a camera, so I'll just talk to you about them. I wanted to say a couple things about this K31, and this is true for a lot of old, vintage, these surplus guns, these military rifles and things. I took it apart, took the barrel bands off. Didn't need to. I didn't expect any kinds of problems with the firearm. It's in good shape. I ordered this one from, did I tell y'all? It's Simpson Ltd. Collectors Firearms, I think. A couple of names, but I know Simpson Singular Ltd. Is the name of their website, I think, and you can Google it. But one of you people put me onto them actually a couple of weeks ago or more. After I had mentioned I was looking for, I guess, one of these or Crag or something, but a great site. Oh man, they have a lot of vintage firearms, and that's what they do. And they take pictures of them from different angles, and you can look at the picture and zoom. You really feel like you're holding the firearm, whatever it is. You can get a full-length view of it, and then scroll along the side of it, the top of it, both sides. Really look at it. They give you a pretty good description of the gun too. So you feel like you're not taking a big risk. I've never been one to order firearms online much, or from sources where I'm not actually holding the firearm. Just haven't done much of that at all. Maybe 2 in my life, this being the second maybe. But sometimes when you just can't find something you really want, and in specific situations, it's not that big a risk. Like, for example, I knew I wanted a K31. I've seen some, missed a good one at a gun show, told you about, up in Somerset. And so anyway, I went to this site that someone had recommended, and there were lots of them on there, and more coming in. And you can get all these pictures of them, you can just look them over really well. And I wanted one that had matching numbers, and that was the main thing. And with a walnut stock, preferably, made in the 40s. Kind of my target there, and I found one. It came in, and even though they had about 15 on there, I looked through them all, and I wasn't sure about them, so I started following as they would come in. You click on what's new, and you catch things as they come in, and I did that for a few days, and bang, one came in that had, I guess it hadn't even been posted, 30 minutes. It had the bayonet matching and all that with it, and so I jumped on that one. It'd pay a little more. I mean, you can pick these up for $250, $300, so I had to pay another $100 for that, partly because of the bayonet and all that. But that's okay. I just wanted one, and I wanted one like I wanted. I'm probably never going to sell it, trade it, or have another one. So I just thought, I'll get a good one. They're not all that expensive. Even the premium priced ones aren't that high. So. For what you get, especially. But anyway, I took it apart today, and of course it looks better now than it did when I got it. because I have ballastalled it, wood, metal, and everything. So I thought I'll take the barrel bands off here, see how those come off, and take the wood off. You know, it's got a top piece, the forearm, and all that. It's a two-piece stock, and just make sure there's no rust under there or nothing on the barrel that's under this. So I got to looking at it, and you know how barrel bands can be. You folks that have types of firearms that have barrel bands. Sometimes they're kind of cheap. They're flimsy metal, and they're just kind of barely on there. Depends on the firearm. Maybe I'm thinking of a Mosin, just different firearms. But I got to looking at it, and I thought, wow, those look like healthy barrel bands. I got my screwdriver, took the screw out of one. I thought, yeah, that's pretty nice. The front barrel band, and you people that have these know what I'm talking about. I got to looking at it, and I couldn't quite figure out exactly how it worked. So I took the screw loose, and the screw didn't seem to want to come out all the way. So I wasn't too sure, and I got to looking at the other side of the barrel band, and there's a kind of a pin in it or something. I was trying to figure out what the heck that was, and the more I looked at it, the more I realized, you know what, that thing has a hinge on it, a barrel band with a hinge. And so the screw, I don't think, even comes out totally. It just comes out enough, and then rather than the barrel band slipping off over the wood, it just opens up. It has a hinge on it. And the other barrel band is more typical, but they're both like really high quality, machined steel. It seems like they're not just stampings and cheap stuff. You know, some of the barrel bands, particularly on modern firearms, I guess. I'm thinking of a Ruger 1022 or something. I know I've broken a couple of them on those guns over the years. They're made out of pot metal or aluminum or something, and they don't need to be machined, obviously, in most cases. And that's one way manufacturers keep the cost down on some firearms, so I shouldn't pick on them. But it's just pretty cool, these old guns like this, the amount of work that went into them, the steel and everything. I took the wood off, figured out how to get the stock off, just a couple screws after I got the barrel bands off, and then lifted the action out, the receiver. Of course, it's all like new in there. It's in great shape. The Swiss took good care of their firearms, and still do, I guess. Now, other than the buttstock, lots of stories on that. They're all kind of nicked up. How they say they use those to knock the ice and snow off their crampons, their climbing apparatus, and stuck them in the snow. And seen lots of stories on that, but anyways, nice. No surprises under there at all. And the serial numbers on the stock. There's the top piece on the stock is serial numbered, as well as the bottom main part of the stock is serial numbered. So I was pleased to see that it all matches the serial numbers on the receiver and the bolt and the magazine. So as far as I know, every serial number on the gun matches, unless there's a serial number somewhere I'm not aware of. I didn't see one on the barrel, but all the serial numbers match, even the bayonet, as I think I told you. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool old gun like that, all intact, and shoots great. So anyway, that was the gun of the show. Had it out and was messing with it. And it's kind of fun taking these old things apart and just seeing how they come apart. Do it carefully and make sure it's clean. I just took the barrel with a dampened ballastall rag, wiped it down in there, and even the inside of the wood, I sprayed it down and wipe it off, because the ballast is not a ballastall commercial, but it's just one of those things. There's others around, I guess, that it's good for wood as well, and it's like a wood treatment almost. And so I always spray the wood down inside when I take that off too. But really neat firearm, I have to say. I guess this goes back to what I was saying not too long ago in a radio show, I guess, but about cleaning firearms. How, for me, it's really not that big a chore. Now, sometimes we've done several videos in a day or an afternoon. We have a lot of guns to clean. It can be to some extent, but most of the time it's not. It's one firearm or two, and they are usually desirable firearms. As I've said before, I don't spend a lot of my short life with junk guns, and so cleaning one, getting it back into new condition, essentially, is it's a pleasure. It really is. If you don't really enjoy it, I don't know, something might be wrong. Maybe you're not a true gun nut like I am, and it could be your cleaner. I don't know. I don't think I enjoy it as much. Here again, I don't want to sound like a Ballistol commercial, but it might be that some product that is a one and all product would suit you better. Whether it's Ballistol or this new frog lube I hear so much about, must be pretty good stuff. I think CLP, or isn't that a one product that does it all? I don't know. But I used to use Hoppe's. I grew up with Hoppe's number 9, of course, being old school. Love the smell of it. I miss the smell of it, tell you the truth. Sometimes I've thought about just buying a bottle and having it open in here in the reloading room. I'm back in the reloading room now, by the way. And just for the ambiance. I know they make the air fresheners that smell, of Hoppe's number 9. Should have one of those in my car, my classroom, bedroom, all through the house, But but I used to use that, and then I would come back with, clean with that, and then come back with oil of some kind. I think the early days I used WD-40, and then I used 3-in-1 oil, and I went through a period of time where I used Mobil 1 synthetic oil, which is supposed to be good stuff, for lubricating about anything, and it all worked. But I remember having to be careful, with Hoppe's number 9, keeping it off my wood, and damaging anything like that. And then I guess most of the wood or the oils I use, that they just seem to kind of lay there, on top, and they worked. I've not had rust appear on my guns over the years because I keep them wiped down with whatever I was doing. I know went through a period of time too. Maybe some of y'all have done this. I don't know if you're familiar with these silicone rags that are available. I think they were Hoppe's. I'm thinking Hoppe's made those maybe. And they were not cheap. In fact, they were hard to find. They may not even be out there now, but they were yellow, kind of a dull yellow. They'd come in a Ziploc or a sealed bag, and they were impregnated, not in a sexual way, but they were impregnated pretty intensively with silicone of some kind, okay? And I gradually bought one of those for almost every firearm. Didn't keep them in gun rugs, zip-up gun rugs. I would keep them wrapped up, or if I did, I'd keep them wrapped up in that first and then stick them in a gun rug or not, because that would keep them from being scratched, and then plus that kept them, from rusting too, and would wipe them with that. I mean, the ones I'm thinking of were thicker. I've seen 2 different kinds of them. Some of them are just kind of light and same color, kind of a yellow, but they're just not the same as the ones I used to buy and look for. And again, some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. They were kind of heavy thickness, and worked really, really well. But I think it was just silicone that was on those. So I've used a variety of things. I still have some of those around somewhere. But what I do now is I don't know. I just enjoy it more because this one product just does everything. I put on my screwdrivers, you name it, the wood, anything that's wood and metal, or plastic, polymer. It's the same thing. It's like Armor All on any kind of polymer. It beautifies it. Wood, same thing. Metal of any kind. It just does it. And again, there may be something else out there that does the same thing. But something like that might cause you to enjoy it a little. Plus, it's non-toxic, and so I've got a can of it in my hand all the time. Seems like putting it on something, rubbing it on something. So anyway, just for whatever that's worth, that could be part of the issue. I used Shooter's Choice, come to think of it, cleaner. And it's like the Hoppe's, except it was even more powerful. And I don't know if they still make that as a special, or a certain brand, or I think they have several different products. and there was one that was just for cleaning, getting the lead and the crud out of the barrel, whatever. I think they have a gun scrubber. I'm not sure who makes all this anymore. I haven't used it in so long, since, about 98, 99 or something, that I've lost track. Don't even keep up with it. Thankfully, don't even have to think about it. And but it very powerful stuff, very toxic or smelling. And you definitely didn't want that on your wood or a pretty finish. I didn't even like to put it on the outside of the bluing, that kind of thing, or nickel. But anyway, those days are over. I don't think about it. And there may be 10 different products just as good as Ballistol, but it might be something to think about, getting something like it if you do not enjoy cleaning firearms, if you hate cleaning firearms, because it makes it more pleasurable. I put on the knives, bayonets, just everything, tomahawks, you name it, door hinges. And so I just live my axes, one product. And I just thoroughly enjoy bringing a firearm back to, when I say new condition, I mean like new in terms of clean, and doesn't have to be exactly like new. You folks that have shot a lot, you've got firearms you've had for a while, you do get character scratches, don't you? You get wear, and if it's a firearm you really like, you don't really care. One you're going to keep, just normal wear is not a problem. It gives it character, it really does. So, and that's one reason I think we like these surplus firearms. These old guns have been used, whether it's a Garand or a K31 or a 03 Springfield, or you name it. It gets more character with age, basically. And cleaning them it's a labor of love. It's a perfect phrase for that, no doubt about it. And speaking of that labor of love, as I said, I was cleaning on the Scar 17 yesterday as well. In fact, the baby is lying here on a stool. Let me pick it up and get the mag out. Make sure it's clear. Wow. This thing is gorgeous as well. I will tell you, I like it more and more every time I bring it out, every time I shoot it. We did a little video with it yesterday that you'll see sometime. And I just enjoyed it. It was fun. It was just a lot of fun. Didn't shoot it all that many times, but I think every time I shoot this, I'm redeeming myself from that very first Scar 17 video we did, where, it was the first one. This is the one I did with the borrowed Scar, and the sights were off. But these are on, and I mean, within reason, they are on. I have no trouble hitting, pretty well with it. It's me if I miss too much here with this baby. And did not miss in the video we did really at all, hardly. And just a great shooter. Wow. I mean, to tell you, those flip-up sights, that post sight, it's refreshing. Those sights are, there's no doubt about it. If you're one of those people who, I don't know, has not experienced military sights. Some of the young folks might be listening to this and you've done some shooting, but for whatever reason, the firearms you have, or the one or two that you've shot maybe, it just had standard leaf sights or something. You've never fired anything with a ghost ring or a peep sight on it. You don't know what you're missing. They're just wonderful. Just wonderful. And, of course, I missed them. I've been firing, like the K31, the 03 lately, some different firearms, and struggling a little bit with seeing the sights. Boy, and I pick up one of these, it's like coming home, and just feels so good. And plus, this thing at 308, I mean to tell you, you don't even know you're shooting a 308, and just the smoothness with which it operates. It is a jewel, I'll have to say. FN done good, as best I can tell. It would be fun to fire one of these full auto because you empty that magazine and hold the thing right on target. Of course, the magazine wouldn't last long. About 1 second it'd be empty. So I'm not sure. Kind of like the M14, something that holds 20 rounds basically, and it's fully auto or a select fire. I guess there's a place for the full auto selection, but by and large, yeah, semi is fine. Semi is fine. Put it on target. It's hard to beat deliberate aimed fire. Even quick deliberate aimed fire. Hard to beat. Hard to beat. But this thing is a jewel. I know they're expensive. Wow, they are expensive, and it was a long time before I was able to come by one. And I guess I essentially got it at like the wholesale price. That made a difference. That's what tipped me over. And it was a retailer. It was a retailer that really appreciated the videos and things we do, and just basically sold it to me for no profits. What it came down to. And I appreciated that. A really nice gun. We don't do a lot of promotion of gun shops and things like that. I'm sure there's some better deals that we could get at different times if we, did some promotion. Now we've got a lot of subscribers, but then again, I don't know. It's there are a lot of gun shops I deal with. I deal with almost all of them from time to time in Middle Tennessee. And I don't have any kinds of exclusive agreements with any gun shops. They occasionally will get a gun from one or something. I'll just let you all know where we got it, but or someone who's helped us out. And we just still try to stay basically independent, but thank people for helping us out. Kind of the way we operate. And I know that's a really expensive firearm. Here I am slobbering all over it. And it might be out of your price range for, the next 5 years, 10 years, I don't know. And the good news there is you could always go steal one. No, just kidding. No, the good news is, even though that's a really nice firearm, and I'm very fond of it, I'm also just almost equally as fond of some of the $200, $300 surplus rifles that I have, whether it's a Mauser or this K31. They're just really fun guns. You folks that are really on a budget, and some of you young guys that you're just looking forward to getting your first Mosin, because for $100 you can just about get one, and throw in a little bit more money and you've got some ammo for it. Powerful historical ammo. Hey, that's good stuff. That's great. You don't need a $500 or $1,000 or a $2,000 firearm to feel like you've got a great firearm and you've got something you can have a lot of fun with. And of course that's a topic that comes up constantly, firearms and prices and cheaper firearms. What are great cheaper firearms and all that sort of thing. You just have to shop around and figure out what you like. If you're kind of new to firearms, you can go get a historical rifle, the Mosin bolt gun, reasonably cheap, and just enjoy the heck out of that thing. You got a piece of history in your hands. To me, that's about as good as it gets. Having an old gun that was lugged around, used maybe in battle, and still shoots. And it's accurate, fun to shoot, not too awfully expensive. Cool stuff. A little harder sometimes, I think, with handguns to find something, for $100 that's a great gun, obviously, or $200 even. But if you look around, figure out what you can have, what you can afford, where you want to compromise, you can find something that's not too awfully expensive. There's no doubt about it. You can always go high point. One of my recommendations is just find a good used gun. Find something maybe closer to what you'd like to have new, and find a used one. Maybe it's even beat up. The finish is worn off, but yet it's mechanically sound. You can find some really nice old Smith & Wessons even, for maybe even $250, and be mechanically sound, but perhaps they've just worn. Something that a policeman's carried, that's just, maybe the finish is blemished, but mechanically it's sound. Those are great choices too. Maybe even an old Glock, an old firearm that is not all that old. Maybe it's 20 years old, but it's a police trade-in. So there's different routes you can go on that, but you definitely don't have to have a $2,000 gun, $3,000 gun to have a firearm that's really, really special. There's no doubt about that. By the way, before I forget it, some things coming up. Thought I'd let you know that I will probably be at the Hillham, I think is the way they pronounce the town over in Tennessee, machine gun shoot, and I guess it's a couple of weeks away. So if you're in Tennessee and you're hanging out at that, I believe it's, by the time you hear this, it's probably not much more than a week away. So, but it's like the Black Dog Range machine gun shoot, Hillham, Tennessee. Google it, you can find it. But probably go to that. So if you're there, say hi. And I have nothing else, just to shop around. I don't know if I'll shoot anything or not, but I enjoy just going to things like that and checking out the vendors. This is where I found a nice knife last spring at that one. And so we'll see how that goes. We'll be up at Knob Creek, I think, probably the Saturday of Knob Creek. And that's typically when we show up there. Again, don't know if I'll shoot anything. Lots of times the lines are long, and it's not worth it. Sometimes I've shot a lot of full auto stuff, and I might shoot something, I might not. If it's a big crowd, I'll just watch other people shoot and shop for ammo. It's a great place to be. Great ambiance, when you're on at a location like that, top of a hill with so many people who really like firearms, even machine guns. And it's a great place to buy ammo. We try to pick up a case or two of ammo when we go up there, because if you haven't noticed, we go through a lot of ammunition. It just is one of those staples of life that you have to keep stocked up on, which is pretty funny, isn't it? You've probably seen the reports, I may have talked about this, where somebody will have gotten in trouble. I know Tom Gresham was talking about some case, I think it was maybe in Louisiana down where he is, the gun talk radio guy. I don't know what was going on. He was stopped, forget now, but he was stopped for something, and he had a it sounded like a Mosin, and he had one of those sardine cans, of ammo that you can buy the 7.62 by 54R ammo in. I think come with 440 rounds or something. That I guess it's a military issue, and that's just typical. At gun shows, gun shops, you see those all over the place. That's if you're going to buy a Mosin and you're going to buy some ammo and get the best price on a little bit of volume. You can buy one of those green sardine cans of it, and you're set for a little bit. It's kind of nice. So a lot of people do that. Well, the guy the news report was something to the effect that, man has a Russian rifle in his car with over 400 rounds of ammunition, trying to make him sound like a terrorist or something. So, boy, just imagine what they could do with me. Oh, man. There's just something about that when the news media reports, they just love that. If someone has 500 or 1,000 rounds of ammunition, it just has a ring to it that the soccer moms can be alarmed by, right? I mean, 1,000 rounds of ammunition. If you're not a shooter and you're not around shooters, that sounds ominous, doesn't it? 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Why would anybody ever need 1,000 rounds of ammunition? I could probably put my hands on 4,000 or 5,000 rounds of ammunition without even moving where I'm standing. A lot of it hand-loaded 45 Colt, everything else. But there's a bunch of hand-loaded 44s I'm looking at, 38s. 1,000 rounds is hardly any ammo as far as I'm concerned. That's not even a start. Boy, if I ever get down to 1,000 rounds of ammo, I'm out of ammo. That's the way I look at it. I remember Tom Gresham said when he was talking about that, he said, my gosh, 440 rounds of ammo, that's no ammo. I've got more than that in my car right now. If I got a couple of bricks of 22, I've got 1,000 rounds of ammo, or 500, whatever comes in a brick. So non-shooters just don't get it. They really don't. Whew. Maybe we ought to have T-shirts made up. I currently have 70,000 rounds of ammunition, or 22,000 rounds of ammunition, or whatever we have. Go ahead and arrest me. Obviously there's nothing illegal about it. You folks listening in other countries, and maybe you wonder what the point is. because you would be arrested if you had 1,000 rounds of ammunition. If you're a shooter, though, it's like big deal. Most people that shoot a lot, they try to take advantage of the economies of scale, buy in volume. I've always done that. Whether it's buying bullet heads to reload or anything. If you can, it's best to buy them like by the 5,000 lot, 10,000 even, and you get a price break. So you're actually paying less per shot. So, and the keeps, it's not like buying bread. If you could buy 100 loaves of bread and get it at half price, what would you gain? What are you going to do with it? It would ruin, no room to freeze it. So, but with bullets, they don't go bad, especially bullet heads, for reloading, and even ammunition. If it's kept even reasonably well at room temperature, or even not, stuff tends to last forever. Look at the military surplus stuff that we all shoot. Stuff's 20, 30, 50 years old, and it shoots fine. No telling where it's been and what the temperature extremes have been. So, I've always bought volume, and most hardcore shooters do that. So that's always funny. 440 rounds of ammo. Whoa, scary. That's scary, all right, because I'd feel like I was out of ammo if I just had 440 rounds of it. Speaking of Tom Gresham and Gun Talk Radio, he contacted me this week and wanted me to come on and chat some with him again here in an upcoming radio show. So I'll let you know when that's going to happen. It's going to be soon. And so I like Tom Gresham. Always have. And you may have seen the last time I was on his show was at the NRA convention a year and a half ago, I guess, at Pittsburgh, I guess. And so John even filmed some of that. I think we've got a video up still of some of that. So that's been, a year and a half, I guess. So we'll chat with Tom, and hopefully I won't say anything too stupid. I don't think he edits his stuff too much. He might cut out something. He probably has a delay. Well, we don't edit ours, but it's not as critical. But I mean, that's what he does. I mean, he does the radio show, and then of course in recent years he started doing TV shows. But I mean, his claim to fame was that radio show he does, and doing it well. It's a real radio show, as I often joke. Yeah, he that's his gig. So he does that, but anyway, I look forward to that. He's a good guy. I'll try not to say anything too stupid. Try not to talk about any of you. Okay. Well, by the way, another thing I wanted to mention. I figured out my eBay issue. I was going to post some more things that I've talked about and to help out the Wounded Warrior Project, maybe the food bank. But I was frustrated when I posted that target, that zombie target that sold, by the way, $334 that you all sent to the Wounded Warrior Project. So if you bid on that, or if you almost bid on it, appreciate all that. So that's sent off, and again, my contribution, I'll pay the posting fees and shipping and all that kind of thing, and maybe we'll do a matching on some of it too. But on that one, I just had to send the check or send through the credit card. But I figured it out. We were on the range. Let me tell you this. We were on the range cleaning up yesterday. It was before John got here, and John does it. He works nights most of the time. So the mornings when we're going to do something, I'm the range maintenance guy for the most part. So I was really working on the range and painting targets, cleaning up from other shootouts, get the watermelons moved out, cans recycled and all that. And that old plate that I broke, you saw, many of you, probably all of you, have seen the 1903 Springfield video where on the second shot, or actually the first shot that I hit the red plate, rifle plate, I hit it just above where the hole is, that it hangs through. That's where I hit it. I didn't know it at the time, but it made sense. And it may have already been cracked, but it broke and just fell. So I hit it and it fell. That was it. So I didn't get to shoot at it and hit it or miss it after that. So I got one hit on it and destroyed it, or at least knocked it off. And it wasn't the hanger, it was the plate. Now, well, you've seen the picture. I posted a picture on Twitter of what the damage was. And, well, anyway, so it's just been lying over there. And it occurred to me, as I was cleaning up, I guess what am I going to do with that? I don't know. So, well, I'll just carry it back to the house, I guess. And it hit me. Well, maybe somebody wants this stupid thing. And it's been hanging there for a year or two, I guess. We've been banging on it with everything from Swiss rounds to 30-06, 308, 223, you name it. It's been hit. Let's see what else. 300 Savage. We've had a lot of different firearms in, haven't we? So I brought it back over and actually cleaned it up a little bit and took a picture of it. And I told John, you know what? Let's just put this stupid thing on eBay. Maybe somebody will want it. It is a range relic that's not made of lead, so there's no big issue there. And I'll just ship it in a flat box, pay the shipping if anybody wants to buy it, and we'll just do something again for the Wounded Warriors. So I did. I posted it just about an hour ago or so, and so it's on there. Just to let you know that, and hopefully we'll get this radio show up before it's. We'll get it up before that auction comes to an end, of course. But because I know you're just dying to get your hands on a broken target, right? A broken metal target. Well, it actually could be fixed. If you're a welder or you know someone who's welded, since you don't have to pay the shipping or anything. If, of course, I don't know what it'll go for. That's the other thing. If you live next door, I handed it to you, then, and you even had to pay $20 to get it welded, it might be a good deal. But anyway, since I'm paying the shipping, if it just sells for $20 or $30 and somebody can use it, maybe it'd be worthwhile. But when I posted, I thought, because I was anxious to post something else, because I had thought I had configured properly for my favorite charities on eBay, but they didn't show up the last time. So here I go again. This is good. I'll post this thing, and this will tell me whether or not it gives me the option, and I'll get frustrated. Well, sure enough, I started posting it, and I didn't see any option for it going to a charity of my choice or anything. And I was about to get frustrated and throw my computer out the window again. And then I noticed that I had a button for advanced posting or something. I thought, well, maybe that's what it is. Seems like they've changed this since I used to post stuff. It seemed awfully simple. I mean, too simple. There weren't as many choices. So I did. I clicked on that and it went back to the old screen that I was used to a year ago and gave you all the options. And then when you get down to a certain point, just like I had remembered, it gives you the options of the favorite charities that you've already designated. And with me, it's a Wounded Warrior or the Middle Tennessee Second Harvest Food Bank. And so, great, we're back in business. Okay, so no problem getting it posted and getting all that configured the correct way now. But anyway, that red target is up there, and it's got a couple of jagged spots on it, maybe where it's been hit on the edges, and then where it was broken. But I don't know if somebody wants that, for $5, $20, or whatever. I'll ship it in one of those flat rate boxes from the post office, and it's yours. It's yours. But it's up there, and we'll do some things, hopefully every month with that. As I said before, we're remiss or negligent if we don't. We need to use the power of the channel to do some good in that area. We feel like we're doing a lot of good. We feel like we're, not to pat ourselves on the back, but we feel like we're doing some good and helping people learn about firearms in a safe manner. But we can do some things beyond that, and so we'll be doing more of that. So, if your life is not complete without an old beat up red piece of metal, I know where you can find one. And I mentioned having put the picture of that target on Twitter. It also occurred to me recently that I should be using Twitter more often. I'm not a Twitter sort of person. You probably gathered that. I know there are people that walk around with their phones and they let everybody know what they're doing. I'm now at the coffee shop. Just ordered a coffee. I took a drink of it. And then there's the athletes that get themselves into trouble, or movie stars. That's always funny. And athletes, they put something on Twitter. It doesn't seem to have registered with some people that, hey, everybody's going to see this. They know who you are. Your name is attached to it, and somebody's out there following all this stuff, looking for a story, a way to make you look bad. So, but all that's kind of funny. I don't think that's going to happen to me. Enough people care. We've got, I don't know, about 5,000, close to 5,000 followers on there. So I should post some things there. And in a way, it is good. I guess if more people were following, I'd post more often. So I think I'm going to try to drum up some business on Twitter, I guess. You don't have to be a Twitter human like some of those characters that tweet their whole lives or anything to use it. I'm certainly not that way. But in terms of a way to communicate, I can see the advantages in it, because even on the channel, now I have realized that I get through to a lot of people if I just post something in the, now it's called the activity feed, or it was feed, the activity, the choice on the home page where it shows your most recent upload, whatever you've done, if you've uploaded a video, or if you have liked a video, or whatever you've done, it shows there. I've learned that if I post a comment there, rather than in the comments section where you all can post, I do it there sometimes too, but if I put it on the feed, I think more people see it, but not everybody. A lot of people never go to the home page, to our home page. They just go to videos. And I have relatives talking about seeing. One guy, kind of a distant relative, talks about, oh yeah, I love it. I'm going to check this video, that video. He's been doing that for a year or two. Then he asked me finally, how do you get, what do you say your home page? What do you mean? How do you get to your channel or home page, whatever you call it? He had never even been to the home page, the main page. And I had to explain to him, well, just wherever you see Hickok45 in a hyperlink, just click on it. It's the same with anybody. And it'll take you to their home page. And you don't have to see the videos, but once you get to that point, of course, you can see what they've been up to. You can see the most recent uploads and all that sort of thing. It's not quite so random. That's what I do. If I'm going to somebody, I want to see what someone's been posting. I try to catch up with somebody, whether it's 22 Plinkster or 10 Outdoors 9, whoever it is. I go to their home page and then see what they've been up to. So I don't know. But anyway, the Twitter, almost lost my train of thought there. On Twitter, that's another way to get a message out or something. So I'm going to use that and just see how that goes more and more. And it occurred to me, the one thing we've lost recently, it seems to me, I know for the first year or two, I would post a lot of pictures, like in Photo Bucket and somewhere else, I forgot where, but I just don't do that, and I'm not sure I can get back to my Photo Bucket account, if that still even works and all that. But I thought that I'm more likely now with a phone that takes good pictures to just snap a picture and pop it up on Twitter, because I always have my phone with me and I'm always with a computer, sometime during the day. So we're getting ready for a video, and we used to do this more often. You remember, and could find some of those maybe that we posted. I would post pictures of a layout of the table before we started a video, maybe, or after we finished, or the damage we had done, the wrath that ensued on a barrel or whatever, and it would just be posted there somewhere if you ever went to those. But I thought perhaps Twitter might be a place to, because I hear everybody posting pictures on Twitter all the time. I didn't even know how to do it, but I do now, and so I thought I might use it for that, just so. To keep track of that, if you do follow people on Twitter, or you ever use Twitter, well, actually, you don't even have to be signed up. I don't think you can just go to somebody's Twitter and there's see whatever they got posted. But but I will be using that. It also, I have it configured so that whenever I post a video, it's announced in my Twitter feed, and then I will just post a picture there occasionally, and maybe just something random. Just anything in terms of a nice piece of gun porn or something. I'll just do that. So I feel kind of bad that almost 5,000 followers, and I don't really use it very much. Don't post anything there, and I hear people that use it all the time. So I should be doing that. Those are things I can do. It's not like I'm desperate for something to do. I need something to fill my time. I essentially have 2 full-time jobs right now, but there are times when, like right now today, that I'm just kind of enjoying some firearms, cleaning firearms, as you can tell, messing around. John can't be here. We can't be doing a video today. So there are things like that I can do to just pass along information. I guess I call it added value or enrichment or something for the channel. Our goal is to make the channel a great place to be and give you lots of information, as much as possible. The more the merrier. So we take pride in it. We try to, and do a good job. So if there are things like that I can pass along, I want to do it. So anyway, kind of keep an eye on the Twitter feed, and I'll pop up some pictures here and there. I won't be posting, hey guys, I just went to the post office and I'm about to go to the grocery. How exciting is that? I bought a quart of milk. Yeah, whoa, cool, huh? No, I won't be doing that. Something just occurred to me as I was, rattling on about the Twitter feed and trying to, improve or do anything we can on the channel that you all find useful, makes it a better place to be, more information. There's only so much we can do, but we want to be a great place. We want to keep it growing and continue to do good videos. We're not planning any major change of direction or anything. We just enjoy doing what we're doing, and the technology allows us to do some of the things I was talking about. Even though I'm an old guy, I've always dabbled in computers and technology. There's a lot of it I don't get into. I have always been mainly just interested in things that were good tools. When I got my first computer in 81, the Apple, when hardly anybody else had one, it was mainly as a tool, something for writing and saving files, even spreadsheets. That was cool. I thought it was really cool. I wasn't a tinkerer. I wasn't interested in learning to program. It was just for practical reasons. So, but anyway, but speaking of the channel, one of the things that I think about and I wonder about sometimes, how people view their own channels and the internet, but YouTube in particular. As relates to some of the goofy stuff, or the crazy stuff, the obscene stuff, everything that appears. And John and I were talking about this recently, how managing the channel, it does take a fair amount of time, and it's part of the project, managing mail and communicating with you all, which I try to do, and I do, several hours a day. And the one weird thing about YouTube, again, and still, as you know, it's the comment sections. It's just weird that you get some really bizarre stuff going on occasionally, and it's almost beyond your control. And I know most people there are a lot of people, they almost thrive on that. They don't worry about it. And I don't worry about it. But I do, as I've said before many times, I do delete stuff. No comment is really approved until I read it. That's kind of my stance. And I think about it, and I reevaluate. Maybe you've gone through this yourself. Am I being too anal about this sometimes? Because I don't try to control everything. I don't, so I don't like a lot of obscenities on the channel. I have a lot of, civilized people like you all. I have some students that go there, I know. I have parents of my students. I have relatives, just like you all would, go to your channel and prowl around. And so you think about that, and especially early on, that was one of my prime motivations for trying to keep it really clean. And when I just had 10 videos, 20 videos, that was much easier, of course. And I've loosened up a lot because, there's just too many videos. We've got almost 700 blogs out there when you think about it. People get on and make all kinds of comments. So you can't control it. The nature of it is so different from most other things. But then on the other hand, as we were talking about recently, John and I, the channel, just like your channel, and most of you have a channel, and a lot of you even upload videos, so maybe you don't. You just kind of go on for information, and you watch our videos and a lot of other people's videos, and you're not really into doing videos yourself. So it may be hard for you to kind of identify with, but the way we view it, and again, you guys are some of the most loyal folks if you're listening to these ramblings, so let me see if I can put it in perspective. It's hard to do. It's such a unique venture. It really is. But from our perspective, we've created this channel, and we found a place. Once we decide we're going to do some videos, shooting videos, firearms videos, pass along some information, some entertainment, and enjoyment of firearms, promoting the hobby. And we got the channel, Hickok45, and it's where we do it. We do videos. We look at them before we post them. Sometimes you might wonder whether we do or not, maybe. But we make the decision, yes, that's post-worthy. That's probably a phrase, a word that a lot of people use that do this. Many of you, that's post-worthy. Okay, I'll put that up. That's not going to detract from the channel, take away from what we do. It's not going to embarrass me too badly, or that's a quality video. Yep, that's great. That will enhance the channel. Yeah, we're kind of, aren't we? We're working on creating the best channel that we can. I think you all would probably agree. Same with everything. I spend a lot of time answering messages, every day, and all that's part of it is offering something worthwhile. Just trying to do something worthwhile. Not that I'm totally altruistic. We get some ad money, but I'm trying to create something and keep it going in a positive direction and do a good job with it, improve it. Keep it something that you're proud to tell people about. Say, oh yeah, you do videos on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, well, what is it? It's Hickok45. Go check them out. You run into somebody at the drugstore or somebody anywhere that you feel confident to give them the address and let them go look at it. Relatives, nieces, nephews, anybody. Well, so you're creating something. You're presenting something. The Hickok45 channel, your channel, whatever it's called. You have something there that you're maintaining and you're creating it, just like a portrait you're painting in a way, not to make it sound too artistic. So you've got it up there on the internet. That's your baby. Well, there's that one aspect of it that you essentially are giving up control to some extent, and that's what people write on the videos. And that's really part of the picture, though. That's part of the canvas when you get right down to it. That's part of what people go there and see for the experience. And it's the thing that some people have a hard time coming to terms with. And I kind of wrestle with it a little bit. This issue of freedom of speech always comes up. And my pat answer is no, not in my living room. You don't have freedom of speech in my living room. You can in your living room say whatever you want. I always come back to that, and I still feel like I'm on track with that. Maybe I'm a little anal about it. I don't know. I know some of the stuff that gets going on some videos. where people get into big arguments and it gets extremely obscene, and comments about, killing this or killing somebody or just whatever it might be. That's just not something that is a part of the portrait I'm trying to paint. Yeah, am I being unreasonable? I don't know. And then so I guess what I'm saying is I will continue to delete comments and or not approve them, quote unquote, is what I refer to it as, when that stuff pops up. And I appreciate you all. I get messages every now and then about a video where there was some big crazy argument, all kinds of claims and obscenities and just wild crazy stuff, and I'll just delete the entire conversation. I don't have time to read 80 different comments, and I'll do that. Someone wrote me yesterday, in fact, was about to get upset I deleted their comment. I said, hey, I don't remember your comment. I said, you might have got caught in a crossfire. I'm sorry if you didn't leave anything inappropriate or whatever, and he understood. But that's just part of it. If somebody's life is the importance of their life is tied to whether or not they're able to post some comment on a video on our channel, they're going to get upset if it doesn't stay. I'm sorry. You need to get you a hobby or something. But hopefully most of you all kind of know what I'm talking about, especially if you're listening to this. But that is part of the portrait. If my niece or nephew goes to our channel and they pop in on a video, and they're 12 years old, and oh, that's neat, and they start reading some of the comments, and it's like F this, F that, and Hickok's a idiot, and he does this and does that, and 49 names. I don't mean just the negative, but just something really obscene about me or something. It's like, wow, gosh, boy, they hate my uncle, don't they? I don't know. It's just weird, and there's going to be that stuff. Most people today, and I have come to realize that too, on the internet, you're just going to have trolls. You're just going to have idiots on there. So everybody knows that. But still, it's our canvas. It's our portrait that we're painting, that we're trying to present for you all. And so, yeah, we're going to continue to monitor the comments and just erase stuff that's just absolutely stupid. And I don't know. I just still don't feel like it's my responsibility to provide the world a place where they can exercise their freedom of speech. It's our channel, it's our canvas, it's our living room. I don't know. There's lots of places where you can do that. I think about forums, whether it's Glock Talk or the Firing Line, any of these firearms forums I've participated in over the years. They have moderators, lots of moderators, and I mean it takes almost nothing to get your comments and deleted and blocked and everything else. It's just kind of the way it is, because they're trying to maintain a forum that is halfway civilized that people will want to come to, and I guess that's kind of what we're doing. So it's a controlled forum. It really is. It's I don't know. And then now we've gotten a little bit bigger too. We're seeing more. Well, we're seeing a lot of opportunity, a lot of attempts to promote things, whether it's videos, businesses, and all that kind of thing. Come on, and I used to delete all that. That really gets out of hand quickly. We're also seeing some occasional people come through that instead of the obvious troll comment, they kind of camouflage it a little bit. And if someone's really trying to diminish you, there's clever ways to do it too, and it's sometimes it's not as they think they're being very clever, but they're not. It's obvious what's going on there. So, at any rate, we that's kind of the way we feel about it, and we're going to continue trying to paint a picture that we're proud of as much as possible. We can't have total control over it. It is the internet. And but again, freedom of speech, that argument just doesn't cut it with me. If you disagree and can make a case, you're welcome to it. But I don't think you're going to convince me that my role is to provide a forum where people can just have total freedom of speech. I don't know. And And you know, when you delete something, you know, the comeback always. I've seen this on lots of channels, you know, and with people I talk with who do a lot of YouTube videos. Some of you maybe. It's always this business. Oh, you're too sensitive. Yeah, I guess so. It's my channel. We just want a better portrait than what you're allowing. So I don't know. It's a rude world we live in, and in a lot of ways, as compared with 20, 30 years ago. And we are just going to control the amount of rudeness, I guess, is what it comes down to. Hopefully, you all understand that. And my suspicion is that most of you probably feel the same way. If you have a channel with 20 or 30 videos up, videos you've taken some time to create, you know what I'm talking about. Or I mean, if you have 5 videos up, you know, maybe 1 video, you know what I mean. But I tell you, you can't believe the amount of junk that we get. You just can't believe it. When you get to 20,000 or 30 or 50,000 subscribers, you start to really see that. It's always interesting to talk to people that have just grown their channel in the last 6 months or a year. I have some friends like that have had some channels kind of take off and doing pretty well, and you know, they they said, "Wow, you didn't warn me. You didn't warn me what it was going to be like." I said, "Well, join the crowd. Join the crowd." It's just part of it. So anyway, a little inside baseball. You might not be that interested in it, but I feel like I want to kind of give you some of the rationale behind what we do. I am not really overly sensitive. If I were too sensitive about it, I would look. We don't have to be sensitive. You know, we've got incredible support. You know, one of the bigger channels out there. Obviously, a lot of people like what we're doing. So, you know, negative stuff is going to be there. That's just a sign that we're doing something. And so, you know, it's all going very, very well, obviously. So, certainly don't have to be paranoid. We're very happy how it's going. But we still are going to control the canvas, I guess is what I'm saying. Just kind of the way it is. So anyway, if that made sense or didn't, take it for what it's worth. We appreciate the support, I tell you. We're just glad you're listening and watching. You know, back to firearms, seeing the FN, the SCAR 17 still lying here, hasn't gone anywhere. Boy, I'm tempted to shoot the thing some more, except I cleaned it so well that I guess I won't today. And I took everything. That thing is a dream to clean. It's so simple. I shot, I guess, only about 3 magazines through it, 4 yesterday. Took the bolt out, and it was no dirt anywhere. It was surprising because I'm used to the AR platform, the gas impingement system, or direct impingement, where it doesn't take much shooting at all to get carbon buildup, you know, in the bolt of an AR-15. And so I took the bolt out, and I was thinking, wow, this is like I didn't shoot the thing at all. And but it's, you know, again, it's just a reminder that it's a piston, you know, firearm, and so the piston's where the carbon buildup is, not in the bolt. So, you know, nothing about the bolt was dirty really at all. Although, with my typical loving care, I took the bolt apart, the bolt out, and the firing pin and all that, ballastalled it, dried it off, cleaned it, put it back, you know, just to enjoy the process. But then took the piston out and cleaned it well too. And I enjoy that. Like I said, just taking it apart. It's not that hard, and soaking it, and just cleaning it, drying it out, putting it back together. You're not supposed to put oil or leave oil down in the piston, you know, tube and all that. So I clean that with alcohol, let it dry, and make sure it's all dry but very, very clean. Put it back together like new. It's fun. It's labor of love, and it's great to have it back like new. We're going to do an AK cleaning video here one day that some people are not going to like probably, because the comments we always get, you see about cleaning videos, and especially since we did the AR cleaning video, it's kind of funny about comments made about the AK and the difference between cleaning an AR and cleaning an AK and everything. Well, when folks see how I clean an AK, they're just think I'm crazy, I guess, but I go through a lot of the same procedure when I clean my arsenal. I know they'll fire. You could take them out, maybe shoot them for 2 years without a cleaning. Well, who wants to do that? You could do the same with a Glock. Who wants to do it, though? And I still think that some of the reason people have problems with firearms that others don't, that I don't, is that it comes down to that sometimes. You're increasing the margin of error, I think, if you're just not cleaning the firearms well, keeping them lubed well. It's not that big a problem. In fact, it's fun. I've talked about that a lot today, haven't I? What a labor of love it is and how enjoyable it is. It's like reloading. It's part of the hobby. And yet some people, their whole identity, their manhood seems to be tied into how dirty their gun can be and still work or something. Well, yeah, it might work most of the time, but perhaps that day you try some different ammo, you got a perfect storm. The firearm is not very clean. It's not even lubed that well. And with maybe the best ammo it would work, or with a certain kind of ammo it would just keep on ticking. But it could be that you get a malfunction just because the lube is very minimal or something. I don't know. Or like with the Glock, they'll keep on ticking too when they're really dirty. But maybe you came close to limp wristing once, and if it had been lubed and clean, it would not have malfunctioned. I don't know. I don't know how people get these malfunctions that I rarely ever see, but I think sometimes it may be tied to that, cleaning and lubing. With me, it's a why not. It's like, why not? I'm not going to take a firearm back in there, put it in a safe, dirty. It's like, why do that? It's they're expensive, and every firearm I have, I would like for any firearm I have that I've bought in the last year or two, 5 years, whatever, in 60 years, to be like this K31 I'm looking at too over here. Like I was just telling you earlier, took the thing apart. I mean, just in great shape. Not a bit of rust anywhere. Obviously, there's wear on it. Stock's banged up here and there. And the bluing's worn in places. But other than that, it could be a new gun, And that thing was made in 1942. That's been a while. Do the math. I would like my firearms to be the same, and just require some cleaning and loving, tender care, even if they don't have to have it. That's the point. So I've got to get geared up here. We'll get together one afternoon, John and I, and we will do an AK-47 or an AK cleaning video, and it will be funny when we post that, because I just know what people are going to say, some of them. But anyway, I better quit rambling. I think I've gone long again. It's kind of dangerous when I'm in a mood to ramble, isn't it? End up with an hour-long radio show. So I'll shut up, and like I said, I'll keep you posted, keep you aware of what's going on, maybe a little bit better through Twitter and who knows where else. But we're doing some fun videos, and we've got some we've not posted yet, and before you know it, we'll be moving into some better fall weather and have some fun with that. I don't know how I'm going to do a video without a wet t-shirt, without it being a wet t-shirt contest. This weekend it's cooled off a little bit, and I've not been wet with sweat, so that's a new experience. Maybe that's why I was kind of fired up today and enjoying the firearms so much, and just thought I'd chat a little bit. But anyway, hope you guys have a great week. You get a chance to shoot something, and if not, keep in mind part of the theme of this radio show. Just get one of your fine firearms out and take it apart and clean it maybe. Make sure it's perfectly clean. When's the last time you got the carbon off that AR-15 bolt? That sort of thing. So, in fact, I was talking with someone who has a SCAR 17, and I was telling him about how I found this little brass rod somewhere I bought for some other purpose, and how it was perfect for pushing out the gas piston. And if you know how SCAR 17 comes apart, you know what I'm talking about. But you got a long piece of something that's smaller than actually a 22 caliber cleaning kit, I think. But so I've got this perfect little piece of brass for that, or long brass rod for that. And I was explaining how I got it out, and waiting for him to tell me how he got his out. And he said, "Well, I've never had mine out." I was like, "Oh, okay." Had the gun for quite a while too. So some people just don't do that. I don't know why. With me, it's like a why not? I don't like that carbon just continually building up on the gas piston, because it's going to do it, just like on an AR-15 bolt. Take your AR-15 perfectly clean, go out and shoot it 100 times, you got carbon buildup. Shoot it another 100 times, you got a little more carbon buildup. Yeah, it'll continue working probably, but where is the point at which it's going to be, I don't know, maybe a tighter tolerance than is ideal? So I don't know. It's like, why? So anyway, words of wisdom, words of non-wisdom from Hickok45. And I'll talk to you guys later. So do what you can to keep the shooting sports healthy and represent it well. Don't be afraid to let people know you're a shooter. And hopefully you live a life and you are the kind of person that impresses people. That, whoa, well, he's a shooter. Bill's a shooter, huh? Mary Lou's a shooter. Well, good people. Maybe guns aren't evil. So keep up the faith, and I'll talk to you later. You've been listening to the Hickok45 radio show. See you on the range.